My name is Ismail Jabber, and I was born in Kuwait from a Palestinian father and an Egyptian mother. I was in a prison called Maryland House of Correction, and I thought to myself I was one good, well-seasoned Christian. So I searched the scripture and I got baptized. Something else just woke up in me. The Lord has touched me. Then and only then I knew the meaning of the word grace.
Yep, you heard that right. Before he even knew about Philemon, God was preparing Izzy for his new life and coming home for good. Since Izzy has been at the Philemon ministry, he continues to grow in his faith, engage our brotherhood, and is establishing his citizenship. We'd love to help more men like Izzy. Help us get to our annual fundraising goal of $75,000 on October 26, 6:30 p.m. at Central Presbyterian Church in Towson. Follow the QR code and link in comments for more information and registration.
Hi everyone. I don't know if that's live. I don't know if you all can hear me, but here is 30 minutes of encouragement. If you don't know, I am Jaya, and this is Queen Jaya Lynn on Champion. So, I want to start with a little bit of relaxation and deep breaths for the first few seconds. So let's just take a minute. I'm going to set the timer. And let's just breathe and reflect on the week, because how much time did you actually have to breathe and just let go of everything that you've been going through? Okay. So our 1 minute timer, or 60 seconds, start now. Just deep breaths in and out, whatever that you're holding on to, whatever has been weighing down on your shoulders. If you're a supervisor and you're taking on the stress of other people, I understand completely. Use this time to listen to yourself. What is it that you need? How is it that you can receive help in the upcoming week? What is it that you can do for yourself and that you'll accept from others? $20 seconds left. If you feel like this 60 seconds does nothing, it shouldn't. I'm not a therapist. I'm not a licensed in any way. But 3, 2, 1 can go a really long way. Before we continue, let me talk a little bit about Champion and what this 30-minute of encouragement every Sunday at 7 p.m. is for. Champion is about being your on-air champion, your cheerleader, reminding yourself that although you are doing the job of so many and you have so many that you supervise or your teacher, and you being there makes an impact on the lives of so many young people, and it feels like you're getting nowhere or you're doing so much and you don't see the impact right now, this is your 30 minutes of encouragement reminding you that you're awesome. That lesson plan that you took so much time to create, while in the classroom, you may have only had one or two people really understand it. That made a big difference in somebody's life. While you were circling the block because you're a police officer and it seemed like a pretty slow day, that meant something to somebody to see your presence there. I know that right now, mental health is a big deal. And right now, in a sense of it was there a long time ago, but it wasn't looked at as much as it is now. Just a little bit of reminders that you truly do make a difference can make a difference. One thing that I have been working on so much is trying to find ways to make other people realize how special they are. If it's a little smile here as I'm walking around, if it's handing out little treat bags during a parade, or even just showing up, I'm going to continue to do it. So, those are just some of the ways that you can remind people that they're special. But how are you reminding yourself that you're special? Taking those deep breath times or writing in journals, even if it's writing nothing, but you're writing everything that's on your mind, if it's writing dates down so that you remember them, it helps you, or it could help you. So while we have this time left, while I'm going to come back every Sunday, you come back every Sunday as well, and use this time to remember that we're people too. Not everybody understands what you're going through. You don't understand what the next person's going through, but you can very much do something to remind them that while they're going through what they're going through, and they don't have to tell you about it, reminding them that they're loved. They're here for a reason. We're going to continue to grow together. And it doesn't matter what they have to go home to, in a sense of, I'm just so over the day. I'm so over the people I work with, or whatever that may look like. What matters is the fact that they touched somebody's life today. And somebody reminded them that they were special. It gets very hard on both sides. Trust me, I know. But sometimes just getting out of the bed, taking a walk, eating, making sure that physically you're okay, and help the mental part. I am not a exercise queen at all. Nevertheless, I just started walking a lot more. Granted, most of that has been awareness walks this month, but I've been seeing the benefit. Yes, it's getting a little bit colder out here, or chillier, and I love the cold. Granted, I'm waiting for the snow, But this, turn you down. Um, but this time that I get to spend with God, with my mind, it's been extremely nice. You, and I keep saying you today. And when I'm saying you, it's really me. But I know for me, because I don't know what's going on with you all, I don't know what's happening on the other side of the screen. But I can talk about my personal experiences. And if you all have anything that you want to add, any questions, again, I am not licensed in any way. I've just been really big on mental health and reminding people that through everything that we go through, we are truly loved. Even if it doesn't seem like it, sometimes it gets lonely. No one answers your phone call when you feel like you really just need somebody to be there, even if you're not talking. Um, if it seems like you're by yourself in a big, huge world, somebody through this world loves you, even if they don't say it all the time. I'm telling you now, I love you. But it's also very important that we love ourselves. And that's not always easy in this world of social media, in this world of bullying, even in this world of high insecurity. But if we think about it, loving ourselves overcomes all of that. Because then, if someone's saying something about you or to you, you know it's not true. Because you know what God says you are. Because you believe in what He is saying is true. You know that if someone's posting something online, it can't make you feel it can't make you feel jealous or envy, because you know what is for you is for you, and that's not for you. I was just thinking earlier about, and repeatedly, but how God does not give us things that we can't handle. And then I thought about all the situations where us as people, we feel like we're crumbling because there's so much happening in our lives. And if you imagine your life is its own separate world, so there's so much happening in our personal worlds or our personal lives that we can't control. We sit back, we watch God do what He does, and we trust and have faith. But sometimes we're crumbling piece by piece. Our worlds are crumbling piece by piece. And God comes in, He puts it back together, He builds it up. And we don't understand the building pieces of it until after. And then we see clearly this is what God means when he says he won't give us things that we can't handle. Yes, you're absolutely going to have trials, tribulations. You're going to go through things. But he created you and he knows what you can and can't handle. And sometimes the not handling piece is exactly all the time. But in this sense, sometimes that not handling piece is exactly what was needed because you handled it differently than what you could have done. I was in the car. I do not drive because so many fun drivers out there. But I was in the car earlier and someone said they don't have road rage, but they will be in their own personal space in their car and they're like talking about things. And I said, well, at least you're not like outly taking out your road rage. And they brought up the fact that, yeah, because people are sometimes super big on showing off what they have and kind of trying to scare each other more than trying to understand each other. Yes, we're all trying to get to where we need to go. We're all trying to rush home or work or wherever we're going. But why is it that we have to try to make somebody else feel bad in that sense? If I'm driving and you're behind me, just know that I am in my car having an anxiety attack because I'm on a road with all these cars. Even if it's only 2 cars, I'm on a road with all these cars. I'm gonna be freaking out. So if you're honking at me, that's not gonna do anything but make me freak out even more. However, if you understand that you don't know what's happening in my car, I don't know where you're trying to go, feel free to go around me. Please don't flick me off. Please don't honk your horn. But know that there is a person in this other car. That being said, I have heard a few recent cases of road rage going bad, but not as many as it used to be. If someone is flicking you off or honking their horn excessively, or they're really up on your bumper because they just want to go and you're driving slow for their liking, safely do what you gotta do. But remember, you don't know what's happening in that other car. So matching the energies is not the best thing to do. And again, this is from a non-driver, but if you're thinking about it in the sense of, yeah, I definitely could have been as mean as the guy behind me, but thinking and praying to God that they make it to where they need to make it safely, you make it where you need to make it safely. You don't know. That person could be back there trying to run to the hospital to deliver a baby. Who knows? I don't know. But this isn't the time to be matching energies unless we're matching positivity and positive vibes. But the whole notion of attitudes are contagious, let's change that around. Positive attitudes are contagious. Negative attitudes burn out. Let's make it, why can't that be are saying. And I'm not saying in the sense of, oh, power to the people, burn out negativity, but also in the sense of, why can't we change these notions of negativity is being looked at so highly and make positivity looked at so highly? Because what's better than sharing love? Yes, knowing that we are loved by God, by each other. But what's better than sharing and spreading love? I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you can think of that's better than sharing and spreading love. Because I'm going to continue to share and spread love this week and continue to do it for so much more. But how are you spreading love this week? We do have about 9 minutes to go. And I wanted to take this next few minutes of our 9 to talk about some other things that I do and how we're here right now. So I'm the 2024-2025 National Christian Miss, and Christian Miss is a great organization. And for Christian Miss, my platform is champion. Finding the champion within, because we can spread love all the time. But what if you didn't have that person who's usually there to pick you back up? What if you only had 30 minutes of encouragement to get you through the rest of the week? How are you taking care of you, taking care of all the other things that you have to do? I presented at a conference this past yesterday, actually, Saturday. And our topic was the RA role to the RD role, and kind of how you get from being an RA to move up to either being a grad or going straight to pro staff. And one of the questions, and I think it might have been our first question, was, what did you want to do when you grew up? Or if somebody asks you, what do you want to be when you grow up? At the age of 4, 18, 6 months ago, and today. How have they changed? Are they the same? And then if they are different, what is that thing that kind of ties them all together? Excuse me. For me at 4, can't even tell you because I had so many. Being an actress, being a teacher, a lawyer, a dancer. That's so many. I just wanted to do everything. At 18, I was heading into college. So it was sports event planning. I wanted to own my own sports event planning company, which is still probably what I want to do. 6 months ago from today, so we're in October, I wanted to do something. I don't remember what it was that I wanted to do 6 months ago. And today, I kind of like where I am. So I'm good with staying in housing for a while. But all of that kind of connects in the sense of, I knew I wanted to help people. The dancing sense, it was more of helping people understand the arts more. Because I also wanted to be an actress. So it was kind of shining that light on theater a lot more, but also allowing people to see into a different form of emotions. And then sports event planning. I love how sports and events bring people together. So I wanted to do that ultimately. And now here as a resident director that I never, ever imagined that I would be doing. I love the sense of making an impact on my residents and even my RAs. And sometimes it is a lot. But ultimately, having those little moments where I truly have residents coming to look for me because they know that they can talk to me, or a resident that I haven't had for a year or two, it's like, hey, Jaya. And I'm like, you remember me? Hi. Those are my reasons why I stay and my motivation to keep going. Because we also talked about how every year we get new residents and we always try to find a trend in the new set of residents, but you can't because we're getting a new set of students. They're not the same as the last year students. They're not the same as 2 years before. And I do it for them. It is very easy to walk away and say, I am done. But it'll be a lot harder for me to walk away from them. See, that was a lot. But sometimes having those reflective moments, and again, bringing all of this back to me because I don't know what's happening behind the screen. So if you also feel this way, let us know or let me know. Because the other big part of Champion is knowing that you are not alone in any of this. You have things that are happening. You feel emotional, you feel drained. You are not the only one. And knowing that you're not the only one, or you're not feeling this feeling alone, is so much better than trying to shut off the world because no one understands. Sometimes I do feel like no one understands. I'm going through this alone. Leave me alone. But no one's gonna understand if we're not talking about it, if we are continuing to push people away. And while this one is very hard, if we continue to not listen to others, sometimes venting is all we need to do. And then we're back to where that refresh. But if we are not listening to what someone else is trying to say, just listen. You don't have to say anything, just listen. It gets a lot easier to just want to fix things. And from the active listener part, you can't just want to fix things because that's where the you don't understand comes from. Because you're not listening. You're a doer, and that's perfectly fine. But in the sense of, I'm going through X, Y, and Z, and nobody understands. I can't just do X, Y, and Z to fix it. You're like, oh, yeah, why don't we go back to A? Or let's talk about it. Be as open as you want. And then we can work together after to figure out what the best thing is for you. Because the best thing for you isn't the best thing for me. With a little bit of time we do have, I have a friend who is in a similar job than I am, but their university is completely different from mine. So they can give me assistance and ideas, but ultimately, I can't do the same things that they can do at their university. I know what's best for me here. However, sometimes I just want to talk it out or make sure what I'm saying makes sense before I just do. And I'm like, whoa, was that the best way to go about this? Probably not. So that has been my 30 minutes of encouragement. I truly hope that in some way this was helpful for you. This made you think about something. And remember, if you're replaying this, watching it later, that you leave a comment about how are you helping yourself this week, but also what is better than sharing and spreading love. This was Queen Jaya Lynn, and this was Champion. See you next week at 7 p.m.